여러분, 안녕하세요. 오늘은 한국어 이야기할 거예요. I've been learning Korean on and off for 5 years now, but I don't feel like my level reflects those 5 years. I mostly focused on Chinese, but Korean always been there, just not as intense. So my level in Korean compared to my level in Chinese is relatively really different. But this year I decided to take Korean as a priority and focus on it properly and finally push it to an intermediate or upper intermediate level. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my roadmap to become more fluent in Korean. I will also share tips and resources if you're interested, and they will all be linked in the description so we can grow together. So if you're ready, let's go. The first thing I want to work on and improve is my grammar. I feel like it's really important if you want to speak and express yourself. Grammar is really important. Now, we all have different ways to learn grammar. I like to learn grammar from a structure course or a textbook or something like this. When it comes to choosing the right textbooks, the one tip I heard, and that is so true, is just find one resource and stick with it. Over the years, I tried different resources, I tried different textbooks, I tried online platforms like the famous Talk to Me in Korean or even How to Study Korean. I also tried different textbooks like Korean Grammar in Use or this book called 오랑이. And right now I'm using 서울대 한국어. It's like really great, I really like it. I used it with one of my teachers years ago and really liked how it was structured. I love that it has a lot of example sentences and illustration. I can just like screenshot the illustration and add them to my flashcard. How I will usually study grammar. For Korean this year, I decided to plan at least one sit-down grammar study session per week. In one session, I will often go over 1 or 2 grammar points maximum, so I just don't overload myself. During my study session, I will usually look at the explanation and try to understand how it works, but I will not obsess over it. I will mainly look at the example sentences because often you get to understand the grammar point more when you look at how the grammar point is used. Then I will make practice sentences with the grammar point I just learned and also using the vocabulary I learned recently. Finishing with turning those grammar point into flashcards. Using a method I read about in Fluent Forever, learning grammar points inside sentences and not with translations. For example, I'm currently learning the grammar point for 해야 돼요. Maybe my pronunciation is not good. It says I have to do something. Instead of putting on my flashcard how to say I have to do blah blah blah, I will use a sentence, either one I created myself or one from the textbook, blanking the part for 해야 돼요 so I can actively recall it. Using this method, it helps me to understand the grammar point instead of translating it from English. Actually, I have a whole video where I talk about how I create my flashcard without using translation, so if you're interested, go check it out. And after that, I will review my flashcard through the week, and then the week after, I will learn a new grammar point and do the same thing. Progress, guys, progress. I'm not trying to rush or binge learn grammar. I want to learn it slowly to let my brain absorb the language and acquire the language at its own pace. That way it does not feel like I'm just trying to memorize rules and memorize grammar points. I'm actually learning the language. Another thing I want to improve this year is my vocabulary. Since I'm not a beginner, I already kind of know a lot of vocabulary, but I want to expand it. So I decided to work through the Key to Korean list. It's basically a list of common word in Korean going from beginner to advanced. Since I already ran through the beginner list with my previous teacher, I went through and highlighted all the words I could not remember or didn't know so I could add them to my flashcard, and I went straight to the intermediate level list. In this intermediate list, I know some words, but definitely not all of them. I moved from learning with translation to learning with images directly. So now all my flashcards are translation free, which helps me to acquire the language instead of translating it in my head first. One thing I really love about learning vocabulary is that every new word that you're learning unlocks a different level of understanding. And suddenly you see it everywhere, in the dramas, in videos, in sentences that you didn't understand. and it gives you like motivation to keep going, you know? Quick break. If you like this type of content about language learning and want to see more, feel free to like this video and subscribe. It will be so nice to have you part of this community. And if you want to follow my Korean journey and more tips about language learning, please go check out my Instagram. I share a little bit more there. And now let's get back to the video. One thing I told myself I should do and didn't do as consistently as I wanted to was reading. And honestly, reading is amazing to improve your language skills. It can help you in many ways. You can learn new vocabulary, see those vocabulary in context. You naturally get the grammar point and the vocabulary repeated in the context, which reinforce what you know and helps you acquire the language more naturally. And one thing I love about reading is that you will encounter new grammar points, right? And those grammar points, you're gonna get familiar with them. And when you're gonna officially go and study those grammar points, you will already be familiar with how it works, what it kind of means, etc. So it's gonna be way more easy to learn it when you're gonna learn it, you know? It's a win-win, only win situation. I'm currently reading and love reading graded readers because it's novels and things based on levels. You have all kinds of graded readers from beginner to more advanced. You just have to find the right one for your current level. Again, I will try and find more graded readers and I will link it in the description if you're interested. Right now I'm reading short story in Korean for intermediate. So far it's been great. I love that in the book some words are highlighted and when you click on them you can see the translation. Like those are words that are more advanced or intermediate and that you might not know. On the Kindle in general you can highlight a word and see the translation, the definition, etc. But I love that they added this little detail, making it more convenient. When I read, usually the first time I will just read through, not stopping, just focusing on understanding the story, enjoying, just reading as I was reading a normal book. I will just highlight the words I don't know or I'm not sure of the meaning, and then I will just go back to the start of the chapter and take all the words I didn't know, look them up, see how they are used, and I will add them to my flashcards. And I realized that when I learn words that way, they stick more. For example, in this book, I learned the word for 부끄럽다. I hope my pronunciation is good. And after seeing it in the book, I saw it everywhere. My TV shows, my TV drama, my variety show, everywhere. And it just stays there. I don't know why, but when you read it, it just in your head, magic. Which brings me to consuming content with more purpose. Since I'm already interested in Korean culture, it's like I'm not forcing myself to consume more content in Korean. It's just having a purpose and being more active when I listen and I consume this content. When we watch movies with subtitles or variety show with subtitles, we will not really listen to the Korean speaker. We would just like read the subtitles. And one of my goals is to stop just reading and actively listen to what they are saying. One thing I've been doing and will keep doing is listening to podcasts in Korean. These days, my two favorite podcasts has been this one and this one. I find that they are really great, especially for my current level. Didi's podcast is more, she speaks naturally, she has a beautiful voice, she will talk about subjects, about Korea, etc. and just casually speak, and I find it really great for when I'm doing something that takes a lot of time. I can just put on my headphones and listen to her voice and Korean. Korean podcast has more like beginner episode and then intermediate episodes, so sometimes I can just switch between the two and choose which one I want to listen, and they are more short. I will link those two podcasts in the description with more if you're interested. And of course I will watch variety shows. Can we really do it without? Come on. I really love the ones where they will talk naturally, so I can have a look of real conversation and I can practice with those. I'm a big fan of rewatching shows and videos I enjoyed. Call me weird, but I love it. So recently I've been rewatching a TV show I watched years ago called We Got Married. It's a show that aired like 10 years ago, like even more. It's a show where they will ship Korean celebrity. Some people don't like it, but I'm here for it, you know? And since I already watched it years ago, I already kind of know what is happening, what they're saying, so I can rewatch it without English subtitles and focus on listening to what they are saying. So every time I'm gonna watch the show, I'm gonna use Korean subtitles and do something called sentence mining. Every time I'm gonna see a sentence I want to learn, maybe I didn't know what it meant or will have never structured this sentence like this, I will take this sentence, look what it means, and add them to my flashcards. And to add some context to the sentence, I will add a screenshot of the scene from the show, or I will look for an image online that represents the sentence. Now, the main thing I want to improve this year and focus on is my speaking ability, my speaking flow, being able to speak more naturally and more like a fluent, you know? To work on that, I decided to add more shadowing into my routine. I'm aiming for 10 minutes of shadowing every night. Now, if I don't do it every night, I will try to do it at least once or twice a week. And another thing I've been doing naturally while reviewing my flashcard is saying the words and the sentences on my flashcards out loud. That way I get to review the word and the sentences. At the same time, I get to practice my speaking flow. And finally, this one is kind of a personal side quest, but is improving my Korean handwriting. I just want to start and say that my Korean handwriting is not bad. I just find it really like I just learned to write Hangul, you know? I feel like natives and like even me when I write with Latin letters, I changed it. It's not the same as when I was a little girl. I don't want to go as far as native because native they will like do really artsy things, but I just want it to be less, you know? So yeah, this is one of my goals. So I just plan to practice my handwriting to make it more clear and more natural. To summarize, this year I'm planning to improve my Korean and get it to an intermediate level to upper intermediate level. For that, I'm planning to improve my grammar by studying in Seoul Tae 한국어 textbook, then expanding my vocabulary using the Key to Korean word list, reading graded readers to expand more of this vocabulary, listen to podcasts and consume content in Korean, and do something called sentence mining to have even more information, shadow Korean content to improve my speaking abilities, and finally work on my handwriting. If you're learning Korean, I hope this video gave you some ideas on what you could add to your Korean routine. And tell me in the comments, if you're studying Korean, what is your level and what are you planning to improve this year? And that's it. I hope you enjoy. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Wanna make you happy and then she goes 나만 혼자 남겨뒀어 대화가 필요해 너 먼저 나에게 말해봐 너와 나의